Hi guys, we are live. This is so exciting. I hope you are on the edge of your seats waiting for us. We are live with Laura. Hey Laura.
Hi, how are you going? Hey guys.
Awesome. So Laura, can you just give us your Instagram or your Facebook or where you want people to follow you while they're tuning in online?
Facebook, I think, just Laura Siddall, and then Twitter is at LM Siddall and Instagram at LM Sid. So yeah.
Do you have a preferred social media account?
No, I use a mix of Twitter and Instagram. My Facebook's just my own personal page. I don't have an athlete page or anything like that yet. So, yeah, either way, not worried.
Awesome. You guys, we are so excited to be here with Laura. We caught up with her, Sara caught up with her on her podcast, on the Iron Women podcast, just a little bit ago. So, Sara, you want to start this one off? Yeah, okay, so.
Okay, so Laura. Okay, awesome. So last time we talked, you were in Girona, am I right?
Yep, that's right. Yep, so I've been based there over the European or Northern Hemisphere summer. Yeah.
Cool. And so how long were you there for?
I spent 2 or 3 weeks there in June, mid-end of June, and then got back there middle of August through until, end of September, and then came straight here.
Cool. And how did your training block go? I mean, when we talked to you on the podcast, I think you had literally just arrived. So how did that block go for you?
Yeah, it's been really good. We had there's 4 of us sharing an apartment there, and yeah, Girona's great for training. The riding's really good, and there's a great pool there, and lots of great running on the trails, and good coffee shops as well. So
coffee's important.
Yeah. No, it's gone well. So yeah, it's been good.
Cool. And do you get along well, living in that kind of situation, that communal, 4 people in an apartment? I mean, we're all kind of grown-ups now, we're not in university, but do you get on well in that situation?
Are people commenting saying we're upside down?
Oh my God. I guess the app doesn't. Sorry, guys, about being upside down. I guess we have a new app, and I guess it doesn't go in both directions, so we're just learning as we go. Okay, Ashley, do you want to talk to Laura while I change it around?
I bet you are just sitting there thinking, how do I support this amazing video I'm watching? I'm here to tell you how. Go to coffeemethod.com, buy the Iron Women blend, use the code IRONWOMEN to get your subscription. Bam.
Yeah, going back to Sarah's question about living with other people, I live on my own for most of the time, most of the year, and travel around on my own. So I was a little bit nervous about sharing an apartment with 3 other people, particularly 3 guys. But it actually worked really well. We all had our own space, but it was great to have the boys around. And it's funny, I got to Kona on Saturday, and I'm just in an apartment on my own before my parents arrive, and I actually really missed the boys. I got quite lonely the other day. I was like, where are the boys from Girona? So, I'm sure they probably, I'm not sure whether they'll be listening, but Mike Phillips, Matt Burton, and Dylan McNeese come to Kona because I'm missing you guys in the house.
Amazing. And are they getting out and doing all your workouts with you as well?
No, because we're all 4 of us are professional athletes, and we've all got different coaches, and we all had different races. So Dylan was training for Challenge Madrid, and then Mike and Matt were Ironman Barcelona. So we're all pretty much on our own plans and stuff. But it just was good. There was always someone around to chat to, or go grab coffee, or occasional rides and runs were easy. If they were sort of fairly low stress, we could perhaps join up and do them together. But no, I mean, we're pretty much training on our own,
And do you like that? Do you like being kind of on your own, but just being surrounded by that community, or would you prefer to have people doing kind of the same thing? Because I know you were in with your coach in San Francisco for a while, and you said that wasn't really working for you. So,
I'd love to be training in a squad, but it just doesn't work for me in the environment that I need to be in, and where I'm living. I'm so nomadic and I'm so traveling around. It's hard to hard to find a squad to train with, so I just have to, I like training on my own because that's what I do, but it's very nice to have people to train with. So if there was, when I'm based in Christchurch, there's a squad that I can swim with, and there's a few guys that I can ride with, and if training matches up, then, happy days, but otherwise you kind of got to do your own thing.
Yeah. Cool. I think it must be like really inspiring just to be around other athletes though that have big goals and big intentions.
Yeah, it's always good to, like, sharing a house with other pros, like, there's so much to learn from them, and we're all at different stages in our career and things like that, but you can still take so much away from other people that you're around. And even, when I touch base again back in San Francisco with Matt and Matt Dixon there and the squad there, it's always, you're still picking up, even from the amateurs that are training there, you're still learning all the time, so yeah.
Cool. Awesome. I'm going to just pass this mic to Sara. Thanks, Sara.
Okay, I got some questions for Laura. Okay, here's what I want to know. So, how long have you tapered for? Or do you plan to taper for this race?
I don't know. I'm going day by day on my training at the moment. So Matt and Paul Buick are being pretty secretive on my training peaks and not releasing it till like a few hours before the next day. So just living day by day. So I trust them in the process. I can't tell you how long I'll be tapering for, or if I've obviously, the big work's done. Right. So the big work's done now. You're not doing any huge sessions or huge mileage and volume, but the intensity of the workload, there's still some work in there. There's still a bit of intensity, but I trust them, and they set me the session. I'll just get along and do that on a day by day basis.
Right. That's really interesting to me. So basically, in the morning, do you know what you're doing that day, or do you find out the night before? Like, tell me, do you literally like set your alarm for 6 and then check your phone to see what you're doing?
I definitely don't set my alarm for 6. No, normally Matt puts the program in sort of, you get a 2 or 3 week look ahead of the plan. But I think the last few weeks leading into this race, just because you want to be able to change and be a bit more flexible around how you're feeling and how the sessions go. So, no, I'll normally touch base with them sort of the evening or afternoon before, and it'll come in that night, and then at least I can prep. Or they'll give me a rough idea of what it's going to be, so I can kind of plan the next day, and then the detail will come in a bit later, which gives me a bit more specifics.
Right. How interesting. And so mentally, do you like that? Like, would you want to train like that all the time?
No, probably not all the time. It's been quite funny the last few weeks. I've been like, can you unhide my training for tomorrow? But on a regular basis, I prefer to have that, at least a week in advance or something like that, just so you can plan your time and any other commitments and things like that you need to get done. But going into certain races, then you're trying to limit any other distraction anyway. So I don't mind it, and I know that they're doing it for the right intentions, and it's good because then I feed back on how the session went that day, and then they can adapt and adjust anything as need be for the next day.
Right. Super smart. Okay, so you're about to swim here now.
I am, yeah.
Tell us what your session is.
I think I've just got 800 warm-up, and then what have I got? 3 500 building 1 to 3 with buoy and band. And then some faster 25s, followed by 400 times 3, I think, something like that.
Okay.
I need to check before I get in.
A good little strengthy mix happening today. Okay, and then just last question: what is your kind of tactic for race day? Like, what's your plan? How do you plan to? Who do you plan to come out of the water with, and what do you expect to happen out there on the Queen K? Because it's a bit of a different year, right? Because there are some people missing, and that usual front group is probably going to be split up a little bit more, So how does that affect you?
Well, I've never raced this race before, so it's all a bit of a learning experience for me and a new opportunity. How's my race going to go? You just don't know. It's going to be awesome to be in such a big field. Most of the races we do throughout the year, you don't have the number of women that you've got here, and obviously you've got generally the best women in the world here. I hope I'm going to be fairly solid and fairly consistent across all 3 disciplines, and hopefully still running at the end of it and picking people up and being, I think it tends to be sort of survival mode at the end. It's I've watched this race the last few years, and it can break the very best athletes. So I think just trying to be smart, looking after yourself, taking note of like the conditions, the wind, the heat, making sure you're taking your nutrition and hydration on and stuff like that. And everyone says it's fluffy and it's cliche, but sticking to your own race, absolutely, I think is key. But at the same time, you have to have an awareness of what's going on around you and an awareness of the race dynamics, and be flexible to make decisions and adapt your plan as might be needed in the circumstances.
Right. Cool. Okay, so I would like to know, would you be willing to be part of our 50 Shirts to Kona campaign?
Tell me what the 50 Shirts to Kona campaign is.
Okay, so as you can see, Ashley and I have these shirts. The future is Feisty shirts. Yep. And we are doing a campaign. We have 50 shirts, and we're handing them out to people, and all you have to do is post yourself in it on social media, in the shirt, with the hashtag #LiveFeisty. And we have a bunch of prizes to give away for the best photos. Would you be willing to do that for us?
I'm willing to do that, yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, well, I hope that you have a great swim. Thank you so much for your patience. For those who don't know, we got caught. There's like construction on the Queen K. Who knew? We certainly didn't.
For
and
all those thousands of fans waiting at 4 o'clock. Sorry.
I know, right? Sorry. There's a few. Oh, do people have questions for Laura? Okay. Did you want to come in and grab the questions? I'll grab a shirt for her.
Okay, great, because we need a shirt for you. 50 Women to Kona is now 50 Shirts to Kona. Okay, perfect. So a question from Facebook.
Yep.
So this one is from Angie Harrison,
Yep.
and she wants to know which of the 3 disciplines is the most stressful because of racing in Kona and the potentially brutal elements.
Oh, wow. And hi, Angie. Thanks for your question. I'm not too sure, having never raced before. I think each element was probably pretty stressful in its own right. The swim, obviously, being that open water swim, and you just head, it looks freaking miles away. You just head straight out into the ocean, and I think the swell, and again, just being in a big group can be pretty stressful. Particularly, swimming isn't my strongest discipline, I would say. The bike, you just never know what you're going to get in conditions-wise. The heat, the humidity, the wind. I rode today and had a headwind both directions. So, if you get that on race day, which you're likely to, because the wind changes around so much. And I think if you don't look after yourself on the bike in terms of nutrition and hydration, I think that stress will then come back to haunt you. And then the run, I think it's just brutal on Alihi Drive, and then on the Queen K. You're just running along a freeway, and it's just exposed and it's hot. And again, that just and by the end of it, it's the end of the race and everything else you've done. I think that all just builds up into being a particularly stressful day. So probably I don't think I can pick one. I think it's a culmination of all 3 that just create what this race is about.
Yeah, and you also raced in totally other kinds of elements this year. You raced in the rain, and won.
Yeah.
So would you say the heat or the cooler is your best one?
I have no idea. I'll tell you on a Saturday the 14th. I'm sure at some point on Saturday. Well, when I raced in Challenge Volsci, which was rain and freezing cold, and by the end of the bike couldn't feel hands and feet and various other things. And I was laughing on the bike going, you are going to wish that this was the conditions in a few weeks' time. And I'm sure when I get out on the bike and the run in the race here in a couple of days' time, that I'm going to be wishing back for that rain and that cold. But I don't know. I don't know which I prefer or which I'm more suited to. I think, again, it's just about being smart and trying to manage your body and take on the fluids and the nutrition.
Yeah, because even when it's raining, you still need those fluids and everything. Okay, so this is one thing that really interested me about you, different from other people, is that you really took on challenge races as a big deal this year, and Ironman at the same time. And so, what to you is the difference, or what is better or worse of doing challenge or Ironman? I know that's probably a loaded question, but I just feel like you have so much to say probably about that, and just coming from so much experience.
I really like the Challenge brand, and I was lucky that there was an opportunity to be their ambassador for the European Series this summer, and I wanted to come over to Europe and race, and they just put on, it's a different vibe. They just put on amazing races in just such cool locations. Challenge Wanaka in New Zealand is probably one of my favorite races in the world. It's just an absolutely stunning location. It's a small town, but it's got a huge heart and a huge voice, and it's probably one of the most epic courses that you get for swim, bike, run across all three disciplines. And then Challenge Roth. I mean, what can you say about Challenge Roth? It's just another level. And Felix and his mum Alice and Catherine, they're just an incredible family that put their heart and soul into that race, and it's something I really like and respect, and they just make everyone feel so welcome and so loved and valued. And I guess it was just the opportunity to do some different races in Europe. The other ones I've done, like Challenge Roma, Challenge Prague, Challenge Volsi, all in just absolutely incredible places. So it's been really good fun, and it was part of the European Challenge, do a European series. So you collect points from the races over the summer, and that at the end of the year, depending where you are in their ranking system, you get an extra bonus payout, which obviously, as a professional, when you're looking for trying to earn a living, that's always going to be, nice to have at the end of the year if it comes off. And the other thing for me, I'm British by background, and my family are back in England, but I have lived away from home for, coming up to 10 years now. So it was a great opportunity to be back in Europe, and I got to spend a lot more time with my family, my mum and dad, my sisters, nieces and nephews, and got to connect with them again. And they came out to quite a few of my races in Europe, which was fantastic. And that was a real big thing for me as well this summer. Yeah.
Almost every race is like a hometown race.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I think we have some amazing sponsors, and they're on my t-shirt, so you can zoom into my boobs, no joking. We've got F2C, which is our incredible We're going to hear from them.
It's tough being green, but somebody's got to do it. And you can too with F2C Pharma Greens. This is what I choose in the morning, every morning before I start my day. And you can support Iron Women Podcast by purchasing F2C online by using the promo code Iron Women.
Okay, we're back. Hi guys. So yes, drink F2C. And okay, so I've got another question from our Facebook, and this is from the women, and this is about lady bits. Are you comfortable talking about lady bits? Okay, this one says, when you're a pro who's racing at Kona, is everything just collused or /numb? Or like, how do you work around that? And this question is from Alyssa Cowan Norman.
Gosh, I mean, by the time you get to the end of the bike, everything's pretty sore and numb anyway at that point. But, I think it's important to have a good bike saddle, and my body shape's probably changed to the shape of my saddle, so I find it pretty comfortable. It's not too bad, but yeah, you always get sore, and you always get chafing in bits that are kind of pretty sore for days after. Yeah.
Right. Do you use any sort of like special products or anything? No. Nothing. All right. And what does your saddle look like? Because I know some of them have holes in them, and some of them like.
Yeah, mine's an ISM 2-pronged saddle, which and then probably shaped to me over years of riding it. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, time for one more question. What do you eat on the morning of Ironman? What do you eat? Or
breakfast. I'll just have a couple of slices of toast, probably banana, honey, almond butter, coffee. I might have a bar sort of as I'm in transition, and then I'll 15 minutes before race start I take a shots gel, which is an Australian brand, Australian company, and then I'm on gels for the rest of the day.
Amazing. Yeah. Cool. So I know that you're a really big part of women in sport, and especially like just getting more women into triathlon and in sport in general. And what would you have to say to little girls? Because there's a lot of kids out there just like looking up to you and saying like, wow, you're amazing. And I know that you played a lot of different kinds of sports when you were younger. So what do you have to say to girls that are kind of looking up to you and saying like, wow, could I actually ever do that?
Yeah, I think just, anyone, girls or boys and stuff, just when they're at that age, just do as many sports as you can. And every different kind of sport, and just make sure you're having fun doing it. You know, if you don't enjoy it, don't do it. But you know, try different sports and give it a go, and get your friends along and do it in a group, and just have fun while you're young, and just experience lots of different sports, and don't get too hung up on serious training, so to speak, or get pushed by parents or coaches or whatever at a young age. You know, I think it's important you get so many life skills from playing sport as kids, whether it's a team sport or an individual sport, that I think, you know, if you focus on one sport at too early an age, you miss out on such great learning opportunities. So yeah, I think do as much as you can all the time, and make sure you're smiling and love it at the same time.
I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Do we have one more message? The t-shirt. Okay, so we have these amazing t-shirts, and we told you about them before, and we are convinced that the future is feisty. Are you feisty?
I'm not so sure. I will be when I wear the t-shirt.
We think so too. So you've chosen the blue one. They also come in purple and yellow, and obviously the pink one I'm wearing. I guess I don't need to point the microphone at my t-shirt. And Sara was wearing the blue one earlier. Look at how good that looks on you. Yeah, okay, we're going to put on the t-shirt, and then you're going for your swim. She said she's actually going to swim in the t-shirt. Nothing like swimming in a cotton t-shirt. You know you're a good swimmer when. That is feisty. Wow, look at how good. You got the V-neck one. This is a good one.
Awesome. There we go.
Amazing. Live feisty. 50 t-shirts to Kona. We are only giving away 50 t-shirts while we are here, and we want to see how many people can take pictures with their feisty t-shirts all over the island doing cool stuff. All right. We have one more sponsor. Word from them. Thank you so much. Hey, Sara.
Hey, Ashley. So I love going fast.
You do? I love going fast too.
Yeah. What makes you the fastest?
Coffee?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it right. I love coffee because I love going fast. I feel like the two and two go together.
Right. And so, but we're not just saying that, right? Like caffeine it actually like reduces pain. It's like a natural pain inhibitor. So you won't feel the pain of going fast.
I hate being in pain.
Me too. So
just naturally you should drink coffee.
Yeah.
Made for triathletes.
Yeah. So do yourself a favor. Go to coffeemethod.com. Order the Iron Women blend. Support us and our live videos and the podcasts and Women in Triathlon in general. And we love you.
Yeah. Be awesome.
Are we live?
Be feisty.
Be feisty. Hashtag
Live feisty. You're watching ourselves.
You can get free coffee by subscribing and using promo code IRONWOMEN at coffeemethod.com. Awesome, you guys. Have a great swim out there and have a great race. We are so excited to watch you. Is there anything that you like to be like you want us to scream at you like when you're out there?
Any encouragement is good encouragement. Well, any screams and shouts are good encouragement. So yeah, or abuse, I don't mind.
Okay, so we're just going to tell you the future is feisty.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, you guys. See you later. Thanks so much for joining.